So it's that time again. It's Saturday night and it's just after 8 o'clock. So it's time for me to go live. So let's see who pops in while I get this up on the big screen. Let's put that on. There we go. And get this started so I can see who's popping in. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's keeping good. Oh, we've got an echo. Let's turn that off. Let's see who pops in for a chat with us today. Frank is here. Frank, you're the first one. How are you doing? How are you keeping? So let's get that off top chat and live chat so I can see what's being said. Davey, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. We've got 11 people. Let's see who's popping in. Rebby's Cottage from hello from the USA. I love your videos. Thank you very much. That's a lovely thing to say. I appreciate you being here. Brandon's Outdoor Adventures here. Brandon, how are you keeping? I'm not. I'm not too bad, mate. Starting to get some tomatoes at last. Oh, Frank, you get how have you managed with blight at the moment? Because we were out in the garden earlier and we've been hit with blight quite bad now. Yeah, we've been hit really bad with blight now. Milo Sanders is here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. GYO Kitchen Garden is here. Uh, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Bandit, how are you doing? West London Gardener, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Got blight on my Christmas potatoes. Um, yeah, so I was doing really well with blight up until about 2 weeks ago. There was no sign of blight at all. We started getting a blight on a couple of leaves, so we cut those leaves away. And then a couple of days ago, just like overnight, it just seems to have hit. All my tomato plants have got it. The tomato plants are really, the tomatoes, it's spread to the tomatoes. There's loads of tomatoes that have suddenly gone from being green to being brown. My potato plants, the ones that my second sowing of potatoes that was growing for winter harvest, they've been hit, so they've been completely decimated. So today we spent most of today just pulling loads any green tomatoes that was looking like they were anywhere near salvageable. So yeah, we got hit quite bad today. Oh, well, over the last couple of days. Um, so no blight here. I took the leaves off a couple of weeks ago. Uh, See that taking those leaves off like that, Frank, really makes a massive difference. I think that makes a huge difference. Um, Shamim Hussein, assalamu alaikum. Thanks very much for coming in. Um, guys, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like for me. We've got 15 people, six likes. Let's balance that up a little bit. Let's get that like count up. Will the huddle start dying now? It's my first year growing bottle gourd. Um, the evenings as the nighttime temperature starts getting lower, your gourds will start to die back. But one of the things to do is if you've got any gourds that are on the bag, on the plant, make sure you've got a bag over them at night time. Make sure you've got some sort of protection over them at night time, because we're still forecast for daytime temperatures of 17, 18 degrees. I mean, today it was close to 20 degrees, so it was really nice and sunny. So in those daytime temperatures, they'll be perfectly fine. But just give them some protection over at night time, and you might be able to stretch it till at least the end of September, early October, and you should have you should get some harvest. Um, so good evening, everybody. Still same name. So gardening channel with Ray. I think he's gonna stick to this now. Um, or does anyone want to have a little friendly bet and see if he's gonna change it again? see, I've just I've just given I've just been given a bottle gourd fruit from a neighbour. Can I just save seed for next year? Um, it depends on how mature the plant is. Now, one of the things to with bottle gourds is they have to be very mature for the seeds um, to be viable next season. What I do is the first fruit that I get, I'll leave that. Um, the very first fruit that I get, probably May time, I'll leave that and I won't harvest that until the plant completely dies. And by that time, the skin is absolutely rock solid. The flesh is too hard to eat. Um, and yeah, it's not edible at that point anymore. The bottle gourd that I think you're referring to the one that you put up, you put a picture on Facebook. If that's the one that you're talking about, it looks quite young, so I don't think you're going to get viable seeds from that. What is bottle gourd, fruit or veg? David, it's like it's a type of squash, so it's part of the cucurbit family, but a lot more people are it's very popular in the Indian subcontinent. So you'll hear a lot of Bangladeshi, a lot of Indian gardeners talking about bottle gourds. Dudi is another name for it. Um, yeah, so you'll hear Hodu is another name for it. I've got quite a few videos on growing bottle gourds. If you have a look at some of my harvests on them, I, there's one year I got bottle gourds, probably that sort of size, absolutely huge. Um, but the with sort of they're becoming more English gardeners are becoming more aware of them, but it's still something that's quite new to a lot of people. If you've seen a tromboncino gourd, it looks very similar to that. It's like a courgette, but it's not. It's a lot firmer, and I think it's a lot more tasty as well. It's not as nowhere near as watery. Do you know Grow Your Own Kitchen? Is that Russ Conversation Shed? Because the logo looks almost similar. Um, yeah, so Ray, I think that looks a little bit too young to be able to harvest seeds from. Bandit, can we grow okra in the UK climate? Depends on where you are. I mean, I struggle with okra. I managed to get plants this year that sort of size twice, and they died twice, and I didn't bother sowing them again. A few years ago, I got okra plants that were a sort of waist high, um, 2.5 foot, 3 foot tall, but they didn't flower, they didn't get to maturity. But I know quite a few people that manage successfully grow okra in the UK. So depending on where you're going to grow them and how well you can get them started, yeah, there's a chance of it. Um, so when would you say is the best time to start with bottle gold growing? Um, I'd say I'd say start from about February. Plant a couple of seeds in February, a couple of seeds in March, and just keep going like that and stagger your plantings. Um, Heather Foley's here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm chopping up some Anaheim chili to put in the freezer. How are things? Anaheim chili, are they quite hot? Yeah, Heather, we're not doing bad over here. We're not doing bad at all. We had okra in the polytunnel, produced three okras, but then died as cauliflower smothered them. Um, but it's the only one I had. So Shamim, you got a massive huddle, but it's the only one. That's a shame. But it's a nice one that you got though. Alhamdulillah. Nick's allotment diaries here. Nick, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. How are you keeping, Nick? Um, yeah, okra like the heat. Absolutely, they really want that heat. If you get a good year, you're lucky, but they do have to be inside a greenhouse, polytunnel, something like that over here. Uh, Nick, I actually have a photo of a sunflower to post on your Facebook page. How big's your sunflower, Frank? We've had a horrible year with sunflowers. Um, the the heads only grew to about that sort of size, and quite a few of them gave multiple heads, which was good. But another thing that they got was it looked like they got blight on the actual sunflowers. So all the leaves just went black and crumbly, almost just like a potato plant gets blight and it looks like it's burnt and blotchy and black. That's what happened to our sunflower. So I don't know what kind of disease that is. If anyone knows. Rabia, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Finally managed to join the live chat. I'm glad you could make it. Um, if we have heat waves like we did this summer, okra might be okay. Um, did we really get heat waves this summer? Do you think so? Because all of August was cold. June was just raining, um, and cold. July was okay. April and May were beautiful. I just thought this year was completely upside down. Because we had thunder, we had gale force winds in July and August. I tried my Scotch bonnet peppers yesterday, but they were way too hot. Any suggestions for chili peppers for flavour, but not crazy heat? Um, see, habanero's okay. Habanero's a decent one. Bullet chilies are not as hot as bullet peppers are not as hot as Scotch bonnet. Oh, you should be on mute, so I don't. Sorry, let me turn that off. Yeah, bullet chilies are okay. Habaneros are okay. Jalapenos are okay. So they got quite a bit of taste, but not the heat. Um, so they're good ones for you to try. Um, or if you just want chilies, normal green chilies is another good one that you can try. Shamim, you wish you could share the picture. If you're not a member of our Facebook page or our Facebook group, go and get on our Facebook group and share the picture. Most of the guys who are in here are on there as well. It's My Family Garden, hashtag Team Spanner. That's our Facebook group. You okay, sweetheart?
Stay alive!
uh, Frank loves ghost chilies.
What ghost chili?
They're a type of crazy hot chili.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
saw it.
pinched my neighbour's sunflower. It was 15-inch wide. Not big, but there's lots of flowers on it. Um, I make yummy fermented hot sauce with my ghost peppers. See, I make a chili pickle. Um,
What chili pickle?
I'm due to do a video. Gary from our Facebook group has asked me to do a video on that, and I promised him I would. But yeah, I need to get around to doing that. Uh, I'm good, mate. Thanks. Spent this afternoon painting the fence at home. Really sore shoulders now. Nick's gonna be like Karate Kid next. What? Paint the fence up, paint the fence down. uh, Nick, I can sympathise with those shoulder pains. Yeah. You need to do some stretches before and after. How much of the bottom of the bottle gourd needs to remain for it to keep growing? I have the wind's taken parts of it off. What do you mean the bottle gourd needs to remain? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean the actual fruit itself that's been broken in half? Evening, Nick. I just watched your raised bed video. Um, Nick's got a brilliant YouTube channel. So if anyone doesn't know Nick, go and say hello to him because he's got a brilliant YouTube channel. Uh, Fred Tate, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Love your video. Keep up the great work. I'm doing the 14-day compost. Fantastic. Good luck with that. Fred, I'd love to hear how you get on. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. It's been on my list for a while to do a follow up video to that. I'm going to do a question and answer session on that video. So keep an eye out for that. Chili peppers not too hot. Try Hungarian hot wax or banana peppers. They're really mild. I mean, Hungarian hot wax and banana peppers. You can munch on them like sweets. They're not. They're not. Yeah, they're just like no, normal capsicums. I think a bit tastier though. Um, Good dog. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Where am I? I've lost where I was in the chat. Um, oh, you know the flower at the bottom. Okay, when it dries up, I hear when that comes off, it's finished. No, if the flower comes off, it's fine. Um, it just depends on if the gourd's intact, it should be okay. Uh, Arzo con polo is a tasty pepper, not very hot but nicely flavored. I've not heard of that one before, Heather. I'm gonna have a look at that one. But yeah, the Hungarian hot wax and the banana peppers, they're just like, yeah, they're a sweet pepper. The Hungarian hot wax a little bit spicier, but yeah, if you want some, you need. I think with peppers you need a bit of heat in them. Um, we grew banana peppers last year. Apart from my daughter, no one really ate them because they were way too mild for us. Uh, Baker Creek Seed Company. Okay, okay. Because I hear a lot about Baker Creek Seed Company. Da, da, da. I haven't decided on what seeds I'm going to grow next year. I haven't got to that point yet where I'm starting to think about the new seeds for the next year. We've still got way too much on at the moment. Just trying to. We spent. I've cleaned one bed up today. Tomorrow is to clean another bed up and get loads and loads of mustard planted in that bed, and garlic powder into that bed to try and relieve some of the what do you call it, the allium white rot. Try and treat that. Um, Welcome to my world. Thank you very much for coming in. Welcome to my live. I hope you're keeping well. I think they ship to the UK. Okay. I've heard of the company. I think quite a few of the American YouTubers use them. So I'll have a look at them. I've been trying to do hand pollinating because not because don't have bees sadly. How long roughly for it to pollinate? Uh, give them give them. I mean, whenever you get a female flower, at least give it a couple of male flowers. Brush with a couple of male flowers. Brian's coming. Brian, I'm sure I saw you say hello to me earlier, and I've just ignored you. Sorry, Brian. How are you feeling at the moment? How how is it? How are you recovering? Are you feeling any better? Gave the lavender a cut in this morning. I've not touched my lavender. I normally wait until early spring to do the lavender because it's still in flower. It's still got some flowers on it, and those last few bees still benefit from it. So I don't cut them till early spring. Patricia's here. Evening all. I'm late as usual. Patricia, join the club. It's my live and I'm always late. um, I harvested my runner beans today. I prefer them raw to cooked. Used the free planter to start snowball turnips off. Okay. Have you planted them from seed direct, or are you using plug plants? As we've still got runner beans in flower. Some of them we're picking off. We've been picking off bowlfuls every few weeks, but we've still got them in flower. I think I'm just going to hang on with the runner beans up until the weather kills them. Um, I'm going to try the pepino melon next year. It's in the nightshade family, but tastes like a melon. Oh, that's a new plant to me. A pepino melon. What kind of fruit is it? How big does it get? Uh, if it's in the nightshade family, is it closely so it'll be closely related to the tomatoes and stuff. Um, I escaped hospital yesterday to be here. Oh, Brian. See, Brian escaped. Now that's commitment. How are you feeling though? Are you recovering all right? Um, direct from seed. Ah, okay. Okay, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Because I planted loads of turnips and they've all been eaten. The slugs got them all. So I planted loads of turnips direct outside, and the slugs have finished them off. But I've got my cabbages and I've got my kohlrabi, and I've got my pak choy out there. But for some reason they just finished the turnips off. So Brian was in the hospital. He was rushed in with a fever, but he's ready to take on Tyson now. Um, oh no, it's new to me, like an eggplant, maybe duck or goose egg size. Ah, okay, so it's okay. A pepino melon. I'm gonna write that down and see if I can find some seeds for it. Okay, so I've got that. Any recommendations on peach and nectarines for the polytunnel? Uh, Ray, I'm looking for the same thing. I was thinking of getting a peach and an almond plant, and I was gonna get a dwarfing variety, something on a small rootstock. Do you know, a very dwarfing rootstock, so I can keep it in a bucket, and then take it into the greenhouse over winter, and then once the spring rains have finished, then bring it out and leave it outside for the summer. I had a peach tree a couple of years ago. I cut it down just simply because it was suffering so badly from peach leaf curl. And it was too big for me to cover, and because it was in the middle of the garden, it was awkward for me to cover. So I'm just going to go for. I'm looking for a dwarfing almond tree and a dwarfing variety peach tree that I can grow in a plant pot really. Um, let's see. Asmat Tamimi's here. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. How often do you do the live show? Shamim, every Saturday around 8 o'clock. It's supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but like I was saying to Patricia earlier, I'm always a few minutes late, so you just have to bear with me. But I'm here every Saturday. You ready for next year already? See, I'm still getting everything ready for. Um, I'm still sowing stuff. I'm still sowing stuff like lettuce. I'm still sowing pak choy. Um, Next month I'll be planting my garlic. I'll be planting onion. I've already planted my onions from seed, but middle of sort of next month I'll be planting them out into the garden. So I'm still preparing beds to be planting. So don't write this season off yet. And there's a lot of work to be done for to get this garden prepared for next year. Da, 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 da. Dean's lost the plots here. Dean, how are you doing? And he's coming in. He's coming in halfway through and saying he's early. He's been wheeling and dealing. Not a problem. Not a problem at all, man. Oh, the pepino melon's pretty. Also, I'm gonna see. I've typed it into Google and I'll look at it properly when I'm done. It was slugs that got our last turnips. Got It was slugs that got your turnip, mate. When I sent them over to yours for a holiday, they never came back. We're collecting seeds for next year, and the hubsters digging over the veg patch. I managed Patricia. I managed to clear one of my veg patches today. Tomorrow's the day for digging over another patch, clearing some mulch, and getting. What I'm doing at the moment is to rid myself of that aminopyrrolide. I'm getting rid of all the mulch that I put down this year, and I'm gonna compost that separately in a bag, and maybe in a year's time use it. But that's one thing that I'm doing. I'm taking off all the mulch, and what we'll be doing is we're going to be doing. It's going to be a dig job this year. Um, First time in about 8 years that the whole garden's going to get dug over. So it's a big step. I mean, we dug over. I put it on my Patreon. We did an onion harvest, really pathetic onion harvest, and we got some tiny onions, and We've got some tiny, tiny onions, and we we dug that bed over, treated it with garlic extract. I've got I've got cover crops planted in that, mainly mustards and clovers. But there's another bed that what I've done with that one is I've treated it with rotten down onion leaves, and my final garlic bed. I'm going to treat that one with garlic powder and see how I get on with the three. But in all of those beds, I'm going to sow mustard and um, mustard, right, mustard, ryegrass, vetch, and what's the other one? Clover. So those are the four cover crops. I'm doing a mix of those four, and I'm planting them into every bed that's going to be empty. I planted some about a week ago, and they're already putting the first set of leaves are already out. So how far behind the chat? Dean. I was keeping up with the chat up until you came in. You've come in and you've thrown me way off. I'm completely fallen off now. Frank's telling everyone I'm a couple of weeks behind. I think I am by now. I was almost there. If the bottle gourd drops upside down, is that when it's pollinated, or is there no such pattern? When it drops upside down, um, I don't know what you mean. The only way that I can tell if a bottle gourd's actually pollinated and it's going to take, because sometimes you can get a bottle gourd that gets pollinated, but then the cold gets it. So I think the only way you really can tell is when it starts growing and putting on some size. Um, everyone's saying hello to Dean, so that's gonna help me move down. Uh, so grow your own kitchen garden just hit 1,000 subscribers this afternoon. Fantastic, Russ. You're pulling a ray like. Uh, I thought that was Russ. He's got the same logo, but the name's changed. Congratulations, mate. Well done. Um, how many name changes have you gone through? Because I think Ray went through about 5 million before he got to the one that he stuck with. Your garden small random piano. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in, guys. If you haven't hit that like for me, please hit that like. Let's get that like count up a little bit. Sorry I missed your call yesterday, Miss Michael. Who is random piano? Uh, um, I got some garlic from Aldi and some onion sets from Poundland. Frank, I'm going all out on seeds this year. I'm absolutely going all out on seeds this year. Last year I planted onions from Set and they did really horrible. Last year I planted. You saw the onions that I did from seed, and you saw how crowded I planted them. And in that 1 foot by about 8 foot, we got some right onions, quality onions. So I'm just going all out on seeds this year. My Japanese onions are already planted, sown, and they're already growing up. So I'm just going to go all out on seeds. But at the same time, I'm wary because I've only got 3 beds to play with. Three of my beds have got white rot, and I'm wary that it's going to spread to the rest of the garden. Um, let's scroll down a bit. Lynn's from My Little Bit of Peace. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Well done, Russ, for the 1K. Absolutely fantastic. Heather, yeah, Mankey mulch. Mulch your compost in a hot bin like last year. Um, sorry, Brian. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up some more hotbeds in the greenhouse. Um, I can't empty the hotbed that I've got at the moment. I can't empty the hotbed that I've got in at the moment because my chilies are still going strong. They're absolutely awesome. They're doing really well. They've got loads of chilies. I've got loads of aubergines still growing. I've still in the hotbed. I've got 3 aubergine plants, and they've probably got about 4 or 5 aubergines each. So I think it's going to be a late one for them to end up. I might just set the hotbed up early January. Probably, yeah, March. No, sorry, not March. January, February time, so I can get an early start to the season that way, rather than try and plant them, try and set it up like I did at the end December time. I might wait and delay it by a month. Um, Sorry, I'm a bit bottle gourd mad. I love the channel. Shamim, not a problem. Most of us are. I mean, I love my bottle gourds. At least as big and cheaper than Wilco's. Abu, walaikum assalam. I hope all is well. Any good tips on to deter squirrels digging around? Um, cats. Cats are good to stop squirrels. Um, I'm not sure. Apart from that, I get issues with squirrels. They're always very. They from now till sort of yeah the non-stop burying acorns in my garden. So every year I end up with oak trees planting just sprouting from the middle of. I'll have my garlic bed, and in the middle of my garlic bed I'll have a couple of oak trees growing. uh, Poor Dirt Farmers here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm still waiting for the wheel. Ray, I told you get me to 20k and I'll get you that wheel up again. Um, am I okay to replant some Christmas potatoes? I might, as mine got blight. What do you think? I think it's worth a shot. If you could, if the problem we're gonna have is the shortening days. I think the weather's going to be warm enough, and especially if you can move them into a greenhouse, they'll be fine. But I think the struggle that we're going to have is the shortening days. But if you can get some early varieties in, first earlies, I think you've still got a chance. Um, Kitchen garden Charlotte need 100 days, and it's 100 days till Christmas. Uh, I lifted the beetroot, carrot, and cabbage today. How big was your beetroot and carrot, Dean? Uh, Use it's me. I needed a shorter name. Three changes. See, Ray went through about 5 million before he settled on one. Uh, Emma Jones has come in and just dropped a £20 super chat. That is wow, wow. Thank you very much for that. That's amazing. Oh, that's oh, thank you, Emma. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind. And he's got a dancing green man on it as well. That's thrown me a little bit. That's thrown me a little bit now. See, I don't know whether to read the messages on the phone or on the screen anymore now. Um, uh, I can't. Hang on. Dean said something about his cabbage being heavier than his wife. Um, I've got the same name as I started Dean's lost the plot. He's got the same name as he started 3 years ago. Dean, I've got the same name that I started. Um, I'm coming up to my 2 year anniversary. 18th of November is my 2 year anniversary. That's not bad, is it? Um, I can't believe that I remember that anniversary date. Um, I'm doing some from seeds as well. Um, Laura, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm buying seeds this year and storing it in the fridge for next year. Was too late starting this year. What seeds are you buying? What seeds are you referring to? We'll cutting back some of the vines help the rest of the bottle gourds. I don't think it'll hurt at this time of year. Any sort of damaged vines, any sort of damaged leaves, I'd get rid of. My onion seeds are normally in by now, but I'm waiting to see if the polytunnel is completed tomorrow. Brian, are you getting a polytunnel at home? I'm gonna do Ailsa Craig and Showmaster onions from seed. Um, I had a fantastic year with Ailsa Craig this year. I think they're brilliant. Sufia, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Uh, so, Grow Your Own magazine next month comes with Ailsa Craig seeds for free. Well, they're not free. You've already paid for the magazine. Depends on how much the magazine is. If there are too many yellow bottle gourds on one vine, is that vine gone dead, or is that the bottle gourds catching cold? If you've got yellow bottle gourds, take them off. If the vine's not got any flowers on, take them off. Um, yeah. So I have armadillos rooting up my garden. You've got armadillos. Now, I've never seen an armadillo, so I don't know what to say. uh, Monty, I started a compost bin bag off a postal sack back in May. Is it worth emptying out and turning it and putting it back in? I think so. Depends on how you've mixed it and what you've mixed into it. It might what I'd be tempted to do if it's breaking down quite well. I'd be tempted to empty it out, give it a sift, take the good stuff, put the other stuff back in, and mix some more fresh stuff in, and let that compost down and use the other stuff. So I was gonna get a new cat. Uh, I finally got to your message. I'm way behind in the chat. But that is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for that. It's so generous. Thanks for cheering me up every day. Not a problem at all. Yeah, not a problem at all. I'm grateful for you guys actually watching my channel, and I'm grateful for. I love the comments that you leave me. It's fantastic. Um, uh, so it looks like an avocado. It's a dancing pear. A dancing pear with a straw border. Oh, perfect. Oh no. Oh. How'd you find your first date? How'd you find your first date? Ray, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Right, better get my surplus food. Um, Linz, we'll see you when you're back. Chard broccoli pak choy. See, with pak choy, Laura, I'd still get some planted now. Same with chard. You if you can get them under if you can grow them under any protection, especially pak choy, I'd plant and I'd get them outside. They're very fast growing, but if you've got chard, if you, again you can plant them, um, they'll overwinter. If you might get some baby leaves this year, but if you don't, they'll overwinter fine, and you get some early plants from them next year. So I'd have a go at planting them now. You're very welcome. Dancing man is really funny. uh, got up. Oh no, Dean. Kyle's pulled. Um, what's he got? Just a cold, or is he all right? Ray's asking about his date for starting. Ray is asking about his date for starting YouTube. Ray's asking about his. Ray's asking about his day for starting YouTube. I don't know. I don't get that comment. Um, Davey, I'm missed. I've missed it a little bit. Thanks. I hadn't thought over winter. Yeah, Laura. Because it was only about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I planted some pak choy. And in seed cells, and I'm gonna transplant them very soon. And I'm gonna keep some growing in the greenhouse. I've also sown towards the end of August. I sowed a second set of carrots. So we get something. I want to get my winter spinach sown. Brian, when do you sow your winter sprints? Well, obviously you're going to sow them soon, but when do you expect to get your spinach harvested? Um, Andrew, thank you very much for asking. To be honest with you, I'll be honest. I don't think it's any different to before the operation, before the injection. I think it's very. I think I think the injection's been a bit of a waste. It's been a couple. It's just set me back a couple of weeks, and I've come out of it, and I think it's very much the same as before I went in for the injection. Um, my mine's in bits. I'm doubled over like a 90-year-old just now. Andrew, I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. Um, One person left a comment on my video and suggested getting an inversion table. Now, I remember watching, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and I remember seeing him on that table that spins round. So I had a little look on, I googled it, but they've come down a lot in price. Um, and the ones that you can get now, they're almost like a weight bench, but it flips all the way around. Instead of just inclining a little bit, it inclines the other way, and it just hangs you upside down by your feet. And apparently, that's supposed to help with taking pressure off your back. I'm tempted to have a look into that a bit more seriously, because anything that can take a bit of pressure off your back really does make a difference. I've found anyway. Have you got, Andrew? Have you got any painkillers or anything that you can take that'll help you a little bit? Um, he's got bronchitis. Gets it every year around the same time. Oh no, man. Do you have an inhaler for that? Because because my daughter, she was supposed to be getting tested for asthma, before all this coronavirus stuff started, and they've just put it all. It's just been put to one side now. But Leslie have to take him for a test today. Either way, gonna need one, as won't be allowed in school. Okay, okay. But how fast do you get the results back? Simplified gardening's in the house. Tony, hello, hello, hello. So Tony's been out building his compost bins recently. Mr. Lazy's here. Walaikum assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for coming in. Um, so wrong job. See, Tony's putting on the wrong uniform today. Um, thank thank you. It was the first. See, Ray, I just go by the. I'm just going by the first day I put out a YouTube video. Now I get Davey's comment. Yeah, I'm just going by the first day I put out a YouTube video, and that was the 18th of November 2019. So no, 2018. And when I watch that, I've left that first video on there, and when I go back and watch it, it's so cringeworthy, and the camera action is absolutely pathetic. And I was watching some of my early videos, and I just look like now I sort of I've relaxed quite a bit on camera, and I can chill out a little bit and be myself a bit more. But in those early videos, I just look like a serial killer. I'm sort of like this. Yes, now I'm going to sow my seed. So yeah, I just look like a complete yeah nutter. But I like watching those videos just to see how I've changed over the time. Dean, my kids have a cold too, so can't go to school for the next 2 weeks unless they get a test. But nothing is. I thought they were doing like hundreds of thousands of tests a day at the moment, and I got no. We had to take the Ben for a test at Great Park and got the negative results back in 22 hours. We did a family outing to the COVID test centre about 3 or 4 weeks ago, um, and they all came back inconclusive. My mum's, mine, my wife's. Yeah, all three tests came back inconclusive. Um, so, but we're still here, and none of us have got any. None of us have got. None of us has got any. Any more symptoms or anything else. We're all perfectly fine. But we did get. Yeah. Let me know how you get on with the table if you get on one. I'd love to know. I'm gonna do a bit more research into it before I actually go ahead and look at it, buy it. Uh, but when I looked at them years and years ago, when I first hurt my back, they were like thousands of pounds for one. But they've adapted them now. I think they're about 70, 80 quid. So I think I might just push the boat out and go for one, you know. But I'm just gonna have a look. Um, the only problem is because it holds you by your ankle and it doesn't strap you in. Is being upside down going to cause you further problems on your ankles then? And that's the thing that you've got to be careful with these sorts of things. You sort one problem out and cause a problem somewhere else. That's what's happened with because I use crutches all the time. Um, I mean, it's something that I don't show in my videos, but it's something. What's happened is I've ended up with arthritis in my hands and carpal tunnel syndrome and stuff like that. So you use one thing and end up with another issue. So I just need to be careful of that. Uh, so he's got an inhaler. Okay, okay. Just put him to bed with 10 times 10 puffs. Have you ever tried yoga? You can learn inversions without using any gadgets. I've been doing it for 5 years and it's really helped. Has totally resolved my friend's long-standing back issues. Victoria, that's a brilliant comment. That actually, um, I've done a bit of what do you call it, Pilates, but not never in a class. I'm not. I struggle getting to places with the, struggle to get into places for the times that they're set. So the way I've done it is I've just watched some videos and I've just followed whatever they're doing. Uh, but again, I'm just one of those people that I'm I can't stick to something. So I think I need to though. I think I need to get yeah. I can't I can't stick to a routine unless one's imposed on me. And if I'm doing something on my own without if I don't have I get I get bored very quickly and I get lonely very quickly. So if I'm doing something on my own, then I can't stick with it. So no, that's why with the gardening, the thing that keeps me up with it is because that everyone's involved and it's not just me. Hmm? Uh, right, I'm here but driving home, just listening as I drive. Come on, do you want to come in and say hello? My bin's been built for 18 months. I built that to show how I build them. Uh, see, I comment. I just realised how I just realised how far behind the chat I'm at because I commented on Tony's compost bins when he first came in. Actually, now we're live. You know that.
Look, I
I've
made some
got plenty of
dessert.
painkillers, but when it's bad, they don't touch the sides.
Look, I made some dessert.
Sorry, Andrew. What have you made?
I just got some water and put some raspberries in it.
That sounds lovely.
I want to have that for school.
Uh,
Mm.
I've got Patricia. I've got to go look at the old videos. Patricia, yeah. Oh, they're absolutely horrible. They're absolutely horrible. They're complete. My first video was filmed the wrong way around on a mobile phone and was rubbish, a bit like how they are now. Ray, if you look at do you know, if you look at the first video I did, it starts off one direction, then halfway through the video it switches to another direction, and the camera's flying all over the place, and I'm walking like doing this with a camera or something, and it's completely, you get dizzy just watching it. um, they can't cope. Most test centres are only doing 60 a day. That's pathetic if they're doing 60 a day. You can only take painkillers so long before they have no. Yeah, Brian, I agree with that. And
Ah,
then the only option is to up it.
Papa, every morning shall I get you some hot kettle water and then shall I put some raspberries in?
Um, that's code for one of the biggest issues are people turning up who don't need a test, clogging up the system. Um, we've been told our nearest COVID test is Cardiff. We're in Dorset. Um, see, but the thing is, they say go and get a test if you doubt. In doubt, that's what we did. One night I had a temperature. My wife had a temperature, so I took myself, my wife, and my mum for a test. But a day later, we were all fine. So technically, we didn't need a test. But if we looked like we had the symptoms, or at least one of the symptoms. Um, Learn to do a headstand, mate. Is
Headstand. I think I know how to do a handstand, but I need lots of space.
Caroline Grazier. How are you doing, Caroline? Thank you very much for coming in. I don't usually record vlogs with me speaking in front of the camera, and I did do one recently, but I don't think I'll ever post that. Sophia, the thing is, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. My ones, my ones were horrible to start off with. Um, I think they've got yeah. At least I'm relaxed now in the new ones. Uh, Walaikum salam. How's the pond doing? The pond's doing all right. I mean, we lost a load of fish to probably a heron or something, but we lost a load of fish. We've still got a couple that have survived, um, and I think maybe next spring we'll up the game. I'm gonna add an aquaponics bed to it. I was supposed to do it this year, but I just didn't get time to do it. You can't.
Ma,
We know
every
you can't
morning
even
should I
get
get
here
some
for eight.
should I boil some kettle water and then
uh,
put raspberries in it for you?
please avoid the inversion table. You feel good
There's hot
suspended foot,
lemons,
and you
there's
get
hot
off.
lemon, hot
You're back to
raspberries.
square one.
And then
Andrew, have you
it's my
used an inversion
dessert.
table? What are your thoughts on it?
Let me finish my dessert first.
Because we'll have to text. I know what you mean. You could do it with your wife and make it a routine. See, Victoria, do you know if she likes it, then she'll probably keep me on. She'll keep me on track. But if she if she's not if she does, it's not a bad thought that actually. I like that idea. I like that idea. I think I'm just trying to make excuses here. But have you got something? Is there something that you could recommend online that's going to be simple to start off with? Uh, I'm gonna take your advice actually, Victoria. I think I was just trying to make excuses, wasn't I? Oh, that's going the wrong way. You're right,
Papa,
buddy.
every
Oh,
morning, Papa, Papa,
you're gonna snap my arm.
Papa, Papa,
Gee,
like hot lemon. Every morning, should I get some? Should I boil the kettle, pour into your cup, and then get some raspberries in it? Then it'd be hot raspberry instead.
uh, just scroll up a little bit. So, what's going on? Where have I gone? Dean's lost support. I was busy watching something. I thought you were talking to me. Caroline, I was on about Monty being. um, I have a yoga mat with the poses printed on it. I do the simple, easy stretches. eBay sell them. It helps me a lot. No back. All right, Andrew. I'm gonna shut up and we'll go back to the garden. Um, Uh, it takes time. It takes time. You should have seen mine first few. Wow, saying it. Tony, have you still got your first videos? If you've still got them, I'd want to see. I want to see them. Um, Ismail Karol is here. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming
I'll
in.
make you
How
this
are you
every
doing?
morning.
How's work? How's everything going at work? Uh,
Do
don't
you
worry, I was
know?
holding up an onion and said it's a cat.
Why do you laugh like that? You're like, ha 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 ha.
So why do I laugh like this? Because that's my laugh. Uh, got to love you and leave you and see you all next week. Dean, you take care, and I hope Kyle's all right, and I'll see you guys when you're back.
He's already gone. Because you're way far behind.
Sorry, I had an inversion table, and the relief when suspended was lovely, but when you get off on your feet, the compression feeling is awful. Okay, that's something good to know actually. That
Dean also has his own garden
um,
shirt.
I think I've just caught up to the chat. Uh, Fish with Bish just popped in to say hello and leave a like. Bish, I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're all right. Um, I'm working in the studio.
Hello,
Check that
Bush.
out. Check that out. He's a proper uh, he's a proper what do you call it, diva now. He's working in the studio. But the guy's been editing videos since 5 o'clock this morning. You can't blame him. Proper dedication. I love that guy. Absolutely awesome guy. I deleted the first lot, but there are some from 2012, mate, and still just. I was watching some of your early videos. See, do you know your trommel video? I've watched that so many times. Do you know that trommel video? I've watched that so many times over and over again. Um, um, but I'd want to see your first video.
Yo,
I want to
Bish
see that first video.
Frank. Frank said yo, Bish, and
Bish
everyone
said
did
Frank.
Frank.
Uh, Shorty, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Big greetings from New York. I really enjoy your videos, so please continue. Uh, uh, Thank you very much for saying that. That's lovely to say. There was a rebuild one in 2018, but the first one was done in 2013. That's the one when you, the one you were doing in your living room. Okay, you go brush your teeth and stuff,
I'm
sweetie.
still having my raspberry.
Okay, let her have a raspberry. Let her sit down for a minute. Come here, come back here. We're gonna. She'll stay with me until we finish. Okay. So I'll save this one from having to go. She's been told to go to bed, get brushed up, and get to bed, and I've just rescued her. But you need to get to bed straight away. Yeah,
I
that
just
was.
want to finish my this.
Yeah, that was repairing the drum for the first one.
Take a picture of this and put it on Facebook and say raspberry dessert.
So what she's done is she's taken some raspberries and squashed them into a cup of water, and she's now drinking or eating or doing some. Yeah, she's somehow consuming that with a spoon. Um, Sounds lovely. It has been absolutely awesome. I've enjoyed this live chat today. It's been nice. I mean, last week we were having a brilliant live chat, and then this phone or YouTube or whatever it was just sort of ruined it. But yeah, it's been nice today, hasn't it? Um,
So Bish like fish.
he's gone. He's gone.
So does
Uh,
Bish like fish?
Raspberry tea. It sounds good. Frankly.
I just got water and put it in. Tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
for me and Mum, I'm gonna just boil some water with the kettle, and then I'm just gonna put some raspberries in.
Heather,
And that's gonna
see
be
you
like
again
the
soon. Thanks for popping in. You take care. And on that, we're just about to hit the hour mark, so I'm gonna call that Why are the raspberries so expensive to buy and every allotment has loads? Ray, I've got so many raspberries at the moment. I just don't know what to do with it. We froze. We put we put a massive bowl full in the freezer today. But guys, thanks everyone for coming in, having a good chat with us. Really appreciate it. You guys always cheer me up. Thanks very much, and I'm gonna call it a day there. I'm gonna leave it there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.